Hello and welcome to Baking with Beardman. Well, I was just about to make some sauerkraut and a friend asked me, can you do a video about it? So here we go. Very easy to do. All you need is one good cabbage. Red or green, doesn't matter. Nice and solid. Like that. Solid ball. You'll need a digital scale. You cannot do it without a digital scale. If you haven't got one, buy one, they're cheap enough. So it's a vital part of your kitchen equipment. One large bowl. One bottle of water. We never use tap water. And some salt. I'm using Himalayan pink salt, but table salt is just as good. So to start with, we need to chop the cabbage. So let's get rid of the end. We don't need that. I will now remove the outside leaves. Put these to one side as we will want these later. Not the easiest things to get off. There we go. So, your cabbage, a good chop down the middle and quarter it like so. Once you've done that, we need to remove the core. Move those to one side. A bit left there. Take your cabbage and slice it. Nice thin slices. Once you've done that, just give them a chop through the middle. One done. Two. Chop them as large or as small as you like. You do not have to chop them that way, you can chop them this way. Once you've done that, take your scale. Stick on your bowl. And set it to 0. Then add your cabbage. Let's make sure it's a nice big bowl, because we're surprised how much room this takes. So, you've got your cabbage in. Take a note of the weight, which is 34.96. Then times that by 0.02. This is very important. This is the amount of salt you'll be adding. So times it by 0.02. This works out at 0.7 ounces of salt. So take your cabbage, sprinkle on your salt, and give it a good mix. Give it a good squash, give it a good squeeze, break it all up. Add a bit more. You want the salt covering all this cabbage. Break it all up. That's a good squeeze. Let's get some juices out of it. That's the last of the salt. Doesn't seem like a lot of salt, but I assure you it goes a long way. If you use too much salt, it won't work. And if you use too less, you could end up with bad bacteria in it. The idea is that the cabbage ferments with good bacteria, good probiotic bacteria, which is good for your gut and helps your digestive system. You no need to buy those probiotic drinks when you can make sauerkraut, and it does it all for you, and a nice meal as well. Give it a good stir. Cabbage done this way will give you twice as much vitamins as cooked cabbage. Full of vitamin C, vitamin K and many others. It's not something I'm an expert on. I just like to make it and eat it. I can feel the moisture coming out. The salt is drawing the moisture. See, my hand is getting wet. What originally looked like a dry cabbage is now bringing out the juices. Do this for a few minutes. Give it a good squeeze. Make sure the salt is covering all of it. And then when you feel that it's done, we'll cover it up with a clean tea towel and leave that for about 15 minutes to let the salt do its work. So it's been about 15 minutes. The salt should have done its work and should start seeing some liquid in the bottom. You will obviously see more that I find in green cabbage than you do in red. I prefer the taste of the red cabbage. So let's talk about jars. There's several types of jars you can use. Now remember, this is going to ferment and bubble. I prefer these sort of lock lid jars. They tend to burp themselves. Or you can use the Kilner jars, but you must remember to burp them when it starts fermenting. We don't want any explosions. You also will need to weight these jars down, which I'll show you in a minute. I use these nice little weights, but you can fill a bag. Make sure it doesn't leak with water. Just put it in the jar to weight it down, or half an onion will do, whatever. But I'll show you that in a second. Right, so let's start filling the jars. Just drop it in. That's all you need to do. Let's Fill the jar up. Right, what you need to do is take a rolling pin or something similar and press it down. Give it a good squeeze. We don't want any air gaps in there where bacteria can live. And this will squeeze some liquid out of it. Top it up. As you can see, that went down quite a way. As usual, I make a mess because every time I do anything I make a mess. Give it a good squeeze down. Right into the sides, into the corners. Make sure it's nice and squashed down. It's surprising how much you get in one jar. I normally find a cabbage this size will fill 2 jars or thereabouts. As you might notice, you start seeing liquid on the top coming out of the cabbage, and this is what you want. Keep doing this till you see that liquid. See? Let's add some more. If you've got a good liquidy cabbage, then you won't need to top it up with some brine water. But you have to have enough liquid to completely cover the cabbage. So keep adding and pressing it down, and until your jar is nearly full. Right, it's all squashed down, and as you can see there's plenty of liquid in there. It's very good cabbage actually. Remember that leaf I told you to keep? We place that on the top. Let's give it a squash down. Off any excess. The reasoning behind this is that it keeps any cabbage floating up to the top and reaching the air. There's little tiny bits, the little floaters will attract bacteria, and will keep everything under the liquid. Once that's on, place your weight if you have one. Little squeeze, that will keep everything down, and seal up. Right, that's your sauerkraut done. Put this somewhere dark but warm for about 3 to 4 weeks until you see fermenting. You'll see bubbles on the top. When you see this, it will need burping, which means just letting the gas out so it doesn't explode. You will need to do that with the kilner jars, but these jars tend to burp themselves, but it's always best just to check. You end up with lovely sauerkraut, full of vitamins, full of good probiotic bacteria. Why buy it when you can make it? That's what I say. So, nice big jar. I'll put that to one side and I look forward to eating it. So that's it from me. Please like and share, and why not subscribe? I'll be doing many more recipes in the future, including making more bread and maybe some more fermenting recipes. So that's it. Take care. I'll see you soon.